This is boring.
Fertilizer. Containing nitrogen, phosphates, and potassium. Increasing the growth of plants. But this all turns into a disaster as fertilizer runs off into local bodies of water, creating algae blooms, contaminating our water systems, destroying our environment. Is this what you want?
I don't want to watch this.
Science guy.
Craig guy, the science guy rules.
Welcome! This is fertilizer. It seems harmless. It helps our plants to grow. Well then, excess amounts of fertilizer end up in our rivers and lakes. It can have toxic effects. As the nutrients in the fertilizer are good for plant life, algae and other plants begin to grow exponentially. But when the food runs out, they begin to die. Decomposing bacteria then destroys the plant matter, using up the precious oxygen in the water. This is not good for other plants and animals, and they begin to leave the area or die in areas known as dead zones, which destroys the ecosystem. Try this! Fill up a fish tank with water and aquatic plant life. Then add fertilizer. See what happens.
Okay, I don't want to watch this.
This is Jeopardy! With our host, Joseph Mandozzi. And contestants Jessica, Giglia, and Watson.
The process in which bodies of water are enriched with phosphates and nitrates, causing an overgrowth of algae, which is sped up by human fertilizer use.
What is eutrophication?
That's correct!
I'll take what's that bloom for 200.
This type of bloom has depleted the oxygen levels in the Gulf of Mexico since 1985, causing the Gulf dead zone.
What are algae blooms?
You got it! Ha! That's TV to myself.
You're watching 7 Eyewitness News with anchors Joseph Mandozzi and Elizabeth Baldwin. And field reporter Gregory Watson. This is Hamilton's very own source for live, local, and late-breaking news.
Welcome back. Fertilizer runoff is one of the most harmful and destructive issues facing our water systems today. Here in Hamilton, we see this problem evident in our everyday lives. Excess fertilizer as well as other pollutants from local farms enter our Hamilton sewers and creeks. With these excess pollutants, our treatment systems cannot keep up and allows contaminated water back into our local bodies of water and also our drinking water. This is why many bodies of water in Hamilton are not safe to swim in, let alone drink from.
The question is, how do we prevent this massive increase in both algae blooms and the level of contamination in our water? There are a few simple things that we as a community can do. First, use organic fertilizers instead of inorganic. Second, sweep sidewalks and driveways instead of hosing them down. And finally, plant trees or other vegetation around the areas you use fertilizer to soak up runoff and excess pollutants.
Next, we'll provide a few simple solutions to the farmers in our community.
Now, off to our field reporter, Gregory Watson.
Hello Joseph, Elizabeth. Today with me here is Mr. Stephenson, an accomplished organic farmer. So how is your organic method different from the modern?
Well, for one thing, we don't use the man-made chemicals on our farm. We use naturally derived sprays. We do spray on organic farms. We handle our manure quite a bit differently. It has to be composted first, so all pathogens have already been killed. You have to make sure you spray when there's no wind. You make sure you spray when there is no predicted rain for at least 24 hours, so it has a chance to be absorbed into the soil, so it doesn't just get run off the surface.
And also, traditional farmers now, they're just using a no-till method. What is that, and can you give us some insight?
Well, no-till is exactly what it says. Some of the big farms are now going with giant machines where they just use what they call a drill seeder, which actually pushes the seed into the soil without doing any soil preparation at first.
Yeah, this is boring. Let's change it.
Now returning to As the Fertilizer Runs.
There you go, sweetheart. Eliza? Eliza? Greg, get in here.
What's wrong?
She's not breathing.
The water.
What do you mean?
It's the fertilizer runoff. It's killing the fish, and now my baby.
Could it be
Blue baby syndrome. It's the nitrogen in the water. It's attaching to the hemoglobin, stopping the oxygen from being absorbed. She's dying, suffocating.
Call 911.
There's no point. There's no cure. Where's the humanity?
Fertilizer runoff killed my baby. And we're changing that.
Hook in the finger! Hook in the finger!